As businesses grow, entrepreneurs may consider having employees. What is required, in your opinion, or at least what should a business owner plan for, in your opinion, before they hire an employee, and what can they do to make sure they meet regulations?
So, from my standpoint, in terms of like the legal question, the first question you need to ask yourself when you get to the point where you want to hire people or you have work that needs to be done by someone other than yourself. You know, we're all in the business of trying to leverage our time. Is whether or not you need to hire employees or contractors. And so a lot of work you do, you can contract out. Some accounting work you can contract out. Some, administrative work you can contract out. And the IRS really has a test for whether or not a person is an employee or an independent contractor. So you really need to be clear that you're not just classifying your employees as independent contractors, because that's like a road that's fraught with peril, like the IRS and the state will come after. Look, so if you determine that you are going to hire employees, then obviously you'll need to get, if you don't already have one, a tax ID number. You'll need to register with the state that you're going to employ people. You need to get your workers' comp insurance. I recommend that if people are going to hire employees, that they really look at whether or not they want to adopt an employment manual. I don't recommend that you have contracts. I mean, Maryland is an at-will state. And so to hire an employee with an employee contract is not generally the best bet. I mean, if you're hiring someone who's going to be executive level in your organization, and you want to sort of lock them into some specific terms, then you might want to look at contracts. But just generally for your employees, you want to really look at, doing an employee manual, figuring out, depending on what your workplace is like, figuring out what safety standards you want to adopt, what hiring program you want to do. And you want to do things that are really consistent, right? You don't want to have, like, I do interview A for this person and I do interview B for this person, and you really want to have some consistency built into it. And then obviously, you're going to have to set up, I recommend, because most of us, I recommend that if you're going to set up a payroll system of some sort, because the IRS is going to expect you to file your withholding taxes monthly, if not quarterly, or quarterly, if not monthly. And then at the end of the year, you're going to have to file Form 941. And I'm not an accountant, but, a business reporter named Ken Boston, years and years and years ago, he did a study. And, a large percentage of businesses fail to begin with. And when he looked at minority and women-owned businesses, what he found was that like 90% of those that failed, and it was a higher percentage rate than the norm anyway, never consulted a lawyer, never consulted an accountant, never had a conversation with their banker, they never developed a business plan. I mean, they just said, we're going to go do business. And that's fine, but that doesn't really protect you. So, I mean, and then there's certainly other things. You're going to have to post your notices. You're going to have to set up your personnel files, and you want to keep those secure so that only management level people have access to them and not other employees. You certainly want to keep, and you want to really look at when we look at employee manuals, we really look at them from the standpoint of like to protect the employer and to give the employee some peace of mind. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing, like little things like. You hire employees and you have a mixture of male and female employees, and either the males or the females look at pornography in the workplace, and you've got you've got like a sexual harassment suit, and what you needed to have, was like a straight up internet policy. So those are some of the kind of things to look at.